If you always try to please everyone around you and make them love you, and you put them on a pedestal, and you always think to yourself that you are small compared to them, so you keep yourself small because you don't want to be too much for anyone, and if someone paid attention to you, then you are worthy, and if they don't, then you're not, because you attach your worth to other people. And also you believe that you are the victim in all the situations and bad things that happen to you. And if you relate to this, then I hate to break it to you that you don't have self-respect, and having self-respect is so important, because when you don't respect yourself, all the decisions that you're gonna make are gonna affect your life in a negative way, and you're gonna become your worst enemy. That is why in today's video I will talk about how you can start respecting yourself. So the first thing that I want to talk about is controlling what you watch and who you follow on the internet, and giving yourself a break from it when you need it, to focus on your goals and yourself. A lot of people are scared to take some time off from social media, even though it is making them miserable and sad, and they forget to focus on their lives and prioritize their mental health and their goals and relationships, because they are scared to miss out on something that happened on the internet and be left behind. And also they are scared to miss out on the daily Instagram stories of their favorite creators and influencers, and unsubscribe from the people they don't want to see their content anymore, because again they are scared of missing out on something, and they have this kind of connection with that content creator where they see themselves on them and they relate to them in one aspect of their lives, and that's make it really hard for them to unsubscribe, even if they know watching and following that person will not serve them in their lives, and it is making them miserable. And this fear of missing out is just an illusion. There is so many crap content online that you need to feel happy that you're gonna miss out on it and that you're not gonna watch it. Just ask yourself, what are you gonna miss out on? Nothing. Are you gonna miss out on get ready with me to my dog's funeral, or get ready with me to get on a bus, or here is what I ate for a breakfast? That's what you're scared to miss out on? I know that there is some good content out there, but the internet will not cease to exist if you take a break from it and you focus on yourself. That is actually a sign of self-respect. You respect yourself enough to unsubscribe from whatever disturbs your peace and doesn't add any value to your life. When you take the decision to keep following people who don't add anything to your life, and deep down you want to unsubscribe from them, but you feel bad about it, and you keep being plugged in on social media because you're scared of missing out, even though you know your life deserves more your attention, and you place much more importance to keeping up with what everyone is doing and what is going on the internet than your life. That sends a signal to your brain that you don't respect yourself and you don't care about yourself and your life and your time, because you place too much emphasis on being a watcher and the witness of other people's lives to escape yours, and you know way too much about theirs than yours. Why are you focusing on other people's lives? Why? Ask yourself this question. When you're neglecting your life and you spend your time just scrolling on social media all the time and being a consumer, that means deep down you don't believe you are capable of doing something and achieving something, and there's some uncomfortable truths that you don't want to admit to yourself. That is why you keep scrolling. If you are in this position, get off your phone and spend some time with yourself and start doing something. It can be going to the gym, it can be starting working on your goals, spending some time with family, or starting a hobby, whatever it is. At least start something. Get your power and control back from all of this outside noise that is distracting you and wasting your time. I used to be in that position too, where I was just scrolling and wasting my time, and I would feel bad about it because I wasn't doing what I wanted to do or discover what I wanted to do at the first place. And I was following people that I did not want to follow anymore, but I was feeling bad about unfollowing them and taking some time off to focus on my life. And one thing that helped me to get out of this situation is adopting this mindset of being like, I respect myself enough that I'm not gonna entertain content that doesn't bring any value to my life and sucks energy from me. I respect myself enough that I'm not gonna allow any content that will waste my time, and I'm gonna take a break from the internet when I need to power more into my life. And that can look like spending more time with family, focusing on my goals, because I respect myself enough to think I am capable of doing it. I might not be the smartest person alive, but I can learn how to do something, and I respect myself enough to give myself the chance to try. A lot of you underestimate yourself and you don't give yourself the chance to fix your life and work on your goals because you think you can't do it. And who are you to even try? And you are not as smart as John or Jack or Emma. But the thing is, you're not supposed to be like someone to be able to do the thing. And even if you're not as smart as someone or charming as them, you can learn to do something. Respect yourself enough to be like, my brain is my greatest asset and I will use it to learn whatever I need to learn to get in the reality I want to have. And whatever is wasting my time, it will be out of my life. And also, another thing that will help you to respect yourself is holding yourself accountable. And that accountability does not come from a place of shame where you shame yourself and you are being mean to yourself for not doing something or for making mistakes, but it comes from a place of care where you're like, I care about myself, that I don't want a mediocre reality for myself. And because of that care and respect that I have for myself, I owe it to me to not gaslight myself by pretending that everything is okay when it is not, and admit the uncomfortable facts to myself and face them instead of running away from them and looking for things that will help me escape them and blaming others for my misfortunes because it won't solve the problem. And the same thing when you're procrastinating on something all the time and you are holding yourself back from starting, instead of shaming yourself and staying stuck in this cycle of shame and self-loathing that will not take you anywhere, accept the situation and look for the solutions and the triggers and the mindsets that are holding you back and start from there. Have the mindset of, I will find a solution to whatever it is bothering me and holding me back in order to have peace in my life and to not live a life that is full of suffering and to not remain blind to my weaknesses. Sometimes we can get stuck in blaming others for our problems and our sadness and anger, and it doesn't lead you anywhere because you see others as evil and you are the good one in this situation, and you put yourself in this position where you start seeing yourself as helpless and a victim in every situation, and you start believing that things are happening to you and everything is acting against you, and you never look inwards where you try to be aware of your weaknesses and toxic traits that are ruining your life. It is uncomfortable for some people to look inwards and admit that sometimes they are the problem or they had some contribution to the disaster that happened, and because of that discomfort that comes with admitting those things, they try to protect their ego from being hurt. But if you want to start respecting yourself, you need to face those uncomfortable situations because self-respect is uncomfortable because it pushes you to start taking responsibility over your life and to accept the fact that sometimes you will have to do the things you don't want to do because you know doing those things will change your life for the better. The next advice is to start taking your own decisions and to stop letting other people take decisions for you. There are some people who do not trust themselves when it comes to taking decisions that will affect their life, and that lack of trust and fear of taking the wrong decision push them to ask other people to take the decision for them, and they take the passenger seat in their life because other people are the ones who are controlling their lives, because in their head they're like, if the decision was wrong and it led to a bad situation, at least I was not the one who took the decision, so I don't have to feel guilty about it, and it is what it is. And even they use that against the other people when things go badly because they're like, you are the one who told me to do this, so it is your fault, not mine. And if you are someone who does that, you can't keep living like that and letting other people taking decisions for you, even the smallest ones, like what clothes to wear or what kind of haircut to get, etc. etc. You have your own brain and you need to use it. You can't just be an NPC in your own life. When you let other people take decisions for you, you put the opinions of these people on a pedestal and you feel like you are small compared to them and you don't have the brain capacity to take decisions like them, and they are right all the time, so you should not question what they say, and this leads you to constantly feel paralyzed when you have to take a decision because you start having a lot of opinions and you don't know which one to choose, and you have to call someone who will choose for you. And sometimes the decision that was taken in your place can lead you to unhappiness because it doesn't resonate with you and it is not for you. It is better to take your own decisions. Even if you make a mistake, you can learn from it. We all make mistakes. We can't take the right decision all the time, but we can learn from our own mistakes and take responsibility over it. And that's what separates people who are living a good life compared to the ones who don't. They make mistakes and they learn from those mistakes and they apply those lessons. Taking your own decisions is a form of self-respect because you show to yourself and to your brain that I respect myself to not let others take my own decisions for me. Of course, you can go and talk to other people that you trust and ask them for advice, but at the end of the day, you are the one who's gonna take the decision. Don't let your fear of taking responsibility stop you from living the life you want to have. Try to remember, it is better to take responsibility over your life and to face those fears than letting others do it for you and wake up every day with that bitterness of feeling unworthy and stupid because you don't know how to take control over your life and pursue what you want, and having to conform to an image and a version that people want you to act like. You can start doing this by trying to take small decisions because your confidence will grow and it will reduce the stress around decision making. Do not underestimate the power of small acts because the true magic lies in the small acts we do every day, where the small acts start piling up until one day you wake up and notice a huge difference in your life because you were doing them frequently and you were not waiting for some big event to happen that will push you to change and choose differently. For example, one of the acts you can do every day is, let's say you decided to hang out with your friends and they want to eat a burger. Meanwhile, you want to take a pizza because you are craving it. Instead of going with the flow, order the pizza because it will train your brain to start respecting your own choices and be comfortable with having a different choice from others, and to learn to not always change your choices and opinions to please others. Of course, sometimes we have to compromise in relationships and sometimes we can change our choices to make a loved one happy, but you should not take this to the extreme where you always change your choices and opinions to fit others because you want to please everybody and you want to make everyone respect you and love you. And actually this has an opposite effect because people do not respect someone who tries to please everybody and let others take decisions for them, because in their head they're like, this person does not even respect themselves enough to take their own decisions and have an opinion about something. And when you're gonna become comfortable with taking small decisions and you want to take it to a next level, start voicing your opinions when asked about it. For example, if someone asks you about a book that you read or a music that you love or a movie, whatever it is, and you have an answer and an opinion that you can give, voice that opinion. Learn to speak up because there are some people who hold themselves back from joining discussions they want to have because they're like, I don't know if my opinion is good, or I am not as smart as these people, or I am scared to mess it up and say something stupid, or I am scared that not everyone will agree with me. And this stops them from meeting new people that they can vibe with and also from learning and growing. If you want to become better at expressing your opinions and become more confident doing so, you need to take the first step and have that kind of self-respect that you own it to yourself to become better at voicing and articulating your opinions. That's why you need to start joining conversations with people you can learn from and put yourself in those uncomfortable situations, and to learn that not everyone will agree with you, and this should not be your intention at the first place to make everyone agree with you. You can't control people. Everyone comes from a different background, and it is fine if people don't agree with you on something. Life goes on, and it is not because there are some people out there who will not agree with your opinion, then you should not share it, as long as your opinion is not disrespectful. And actually, we can learn a lot from these people who disagree with us, because they can show you a perspective that you have never considered before, and even they can help you notice holes in your argument. The final advice is to be picky about the people you hang out with, because your time is valuable, and you can't just waste it hanging out with people who are constantly adding drama to your life and disrespecting you and draining your energy. That is self-disrespect. How do you expect people to respect you when they see you constantly allowing and tolerating disrespect from others? And also, how do you expect yourself to respect yourself and have good image and perception about yourself when you constantly allow chaos and disrespect? When you give people the chance to disrespect you and you don't cut them out when they go far with their behaviors, how do you expect yourself to feel good in your skin and be confident when you're constantly feeling drained and hollow and like a piece of trash when you are around certain people? If you are around people who judge others, disrespect others, and say mean things, you will start internalizing these things as facts, and it is going to affect how you see yourself and how you react to the world around you. So if you want to start respecting yourself, cut the people who just add stress to your life or you feel hollow around them. Don't just build relationships for the sake of doing so, because first of all, it gives the impression that you are desperate, and secondly, it doesn't make you feel good, and you always feel this feeling that there is something wrong with this relationship and you don't feel any connection with the other person, and you're constantly doing effort to make the other person see you and validate your existence, and you just always feel out of place, and this affects you in your day-to-day life because you start asking yourself, is there something wrong with me that these people disrespect me or ignore me? But the thing is, you guys are not for each other. Don't try to force a relationship or a friendship to happen. If someone give you the sign they are not interested or they showed you their true colors, take it as it is and leave. Don't try to change them. People who respect themselves, their relationships reflect that, because you see them only interested in having and building healthy relationships, and they don't waste their time with people who are going to waste their time, because they know their time is important and they can't just waste it with anyone. They're going to spend that time with themselves, or they're gonna spend it with people they care about and who add value to their life, and they also add value to these people's lives as well, because obviously you can't expect people to respect you and value you if you don't do the same for them. And when you start respecting yourself by allowing people who are genuinely interested in you as a person and they respect themselves as well and they have great qualities, you start getting inspired by the energy they have, and you learn so much from them. For example, in the past, I would go crazy if I did not finish my to-do list, and I would punish myself for that. But when I met one of my friends and I saw how peaceful she is when she doesn't finish something and she does not treat it like the end of the world, that inspired me to start doing the same and to not go crazy when I don't finish my to-do list and look at the things that I already achieved that day. Genuinely, being picky about the people you choose to be around can change your life for good. And I know it is challenging to find those people because I was in that position too, but they exist and it takes time to find them. And like I said, don't enter relationships or friendships just for the sake to have one, because it never works out. I hope this was helpful, and remember that This journey is a lifetime journey. You won't become a master in self respect in 1 month or 1 week. It takes time and effort, and I would love to know your opinions about this subject. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Do you have something you want to add? And also, don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel because it will help me a lot and show to the algorithm that people like this type of content.